Okay, so let's get real. Now, 3B1B is probably one of the few people that I would be able to just barely beat. Just barely beat, and it's only by this statement right here. The universe is not zero, it is one. It is one-dimensional curvature, and this is a learning curve to the market, right? Without it, we don't have hydrogen, and we do not have fallovium here on this theta 4545. Okay, so we know that this is impossible. This is expansion, recombination, great collapse. The math doesn't support that answer. It doesn't even if it were to be true, our math on the understanding of the idea so far out there. They'll go 20 billion years. Then they'll go another set of 50 billion years factorial beyond the universal Big Bang. But 3B is not wrong here to explain why zero is important. We're not giving you any real numbers like a fucking market diagram here.
I'm gonna take that and put it with this. I'm gonna take this and put it with that. Take a step back, look at it.
Nice. The idea here is people are gonna tell. The first thing I did,
the basic function.
I studied all this math. I was watching the Peacock for 2 years solid just so I could get up on this. And what I'm left with is a chart where all the numbers. There's the MACD under this mountain for the day. She rolled up. The rock had an angle like this. She flattened off. She come back down, and that would be generally fair to market value. It's from here to there on the day symmetry. That's one-dimensional curvature. You get that right. So, like energy inside of there, FMA. Here's the projectile momentum equation. It just doesn't bounce the fuck up like this unless it was acted upon by an object. So at least I could say that trending line is at least a flat, a what do you call them? A cosmic ribbon there, as it were. And there might be some subtle fluctuations: red, green, red, green, red, green, red, green, green, green. Well, it'd have to here. Down here. Green, 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 red, green, red, green, red, red, green, red, 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 red. Just rolled right over. Green, 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 green. Little tiny candlesticks. Red, 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 red. And then it hits here, past as it was, and drops right the fuck through. So now you have to argue the subchart, right? Air turbulence equation, specifically the DMA. Well, there's moving average. There's the other one that's in just an individual line. Well, what do these other trending lines represent? Well, some combination of both of them in different forms. The logic. You're taking a moving average, and you're putting it with the FSTO. Those two lines on a chart. There are times where that links up or crosses over, or because it's open, is where the market diagram shows the bit, that hidden secret bit that you need to know, because that's where you're always going to fucking put it. Every single time. There would be no other market diagram. Oh, but she's up in here and doing this. Yeah, same thing as this line right here. There they are. Ratchet up. You put it in a bit. Then you hit it again. It went up here. Started to come down. Tried to get back to the natural capitulation. Even if you were going to claim this was its level, this was its level, and this was its fucking level. You as a company have to be there. You just can't let the cow, wow, we're going to accept these wild swings and let people wait random arbitrary amounts of time from the top of this to wherever the hell this decides to just fucking pound back up. What news? What FMA?
Function underlying a normal distribution, aka a Gaussian, is e to the negative x squared. But you might wonder, why this function?
Why you've never really seen one in the market except for very rare times. It's here. I'll go find it. I'll find one easily for you. I'll take a section of time and I'll tell you what time is. And you will like it.
Expressions we could dream up that give you some symmetric, smooth graph with mass concentrated towards the middle. Why is it that the theory of probability seems to have a special place in its heart for this particular expression? For the last many videos, I've been hinting at an answer to this question, and here we'll find
I'm a person, 3B is a person,
Jamie
Dimon is a person.
A couple videos ago, we talked about the central limit theorem, which describes how as you add multiple copies of a random variable...
So in central limit theory, we're not looking for the top of the bell curve. When you're a company,
rolling a weighted die.
We're not rolling weighted dice here. We're like, maybe it's 5, maybe it's 3. And it's like, no, that's not how decay works in elements. That's not how a plant grows through its cycles and phases. Obviously, it's germination phase, it's vegetation phase, it's flowering phase. They have very different NPKs. If you just keep dumping in 5 across the board, you're going to have very different results from the zenith. That plant doesn't grow any fucking taller if it yields better at this height. Longer. There's a chart. All I got to do is find a bell curve where they did this, and it's not a smooth bell curve. That's all I need to do. All I need to do is find one of them. Any stock. And it brings into question Hershey's. The fuck is that? At that line right there, eventually that black body problem eats everything. Not nothing. At that line, compared to Berkshire and Hathaway, unless Berkshire and Hathaway have that number as well, and guess who's bigger in this power struggle? So when does Hershey's come down? Because you didn't want to take a moderated line. Because you didn't want to put money in the bank. Because you didn't want to fucking hire crew and understand how a fucking militia works. What is a militia? It's your goddamn family. Say your last name. It's a goddamn constitution you live with. And there's a reason. I would or would not accept anybody, man, woman, or race, creed, or color, machine,